Hello and welcome to Orlando. We're here in sunny Florida, and I'm here with the man that needs little introduction, but he's the Executive Vice Chairman of Dubai Duty Free, Colm McLoughlin. How are you today, sir?
I need a little introduction because I've been around so long. Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone in the industry that doesn't know who you are.
Well, I'm not so sure, but thank you, Charlotte. I'm great today. Thank you.
Good.
Nice to be with you.
The first question I wanted to ask you is probably the main question that everyone's got in their heads about Dubai Duty Free. You're vying for that top location for duty free sales with another airport, Incheon, and how likely do you think it is that you'll overtake them, and do you think it might have happened already?
Well, I thought we had overtaken them. How likely it is to happen, if we haven't done it already, it's very likely to happen because our business increases every year, and last year we finished our business at 1.8 billion US dollar sales.
Of course, yeah.
It's going to be in excess of $1.9 billion this year. And we foresee that it's going to continue to grow because of various things that's happening at Dubai. And in our 10-year plan, we are reckoning that we will have sales of $3 billion US dollars by 2018. So I think it will happen. It's really not that important. We didn't start looking at it, Charlotte, until we suddenly realized we were 5th or 6th in the world. And then we scratched our heads and thought, yeah, it would be nice to be number one sometime. So.
Okay, so it's just a happy coincidence, perhaps, but now you're really...
Now we like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. And previously, I know in another interview, you said that you might reach 3 billion by 2020, and now it's come down to 2018.
Yes.
Do you think you might even supersede that?
It might come quicker than that, yes. We grew last year by 11.5% over the previous year in sales. This year, again, we're running at about 11% so far, but of course it's very early in the year.
Of course, yeah.
But the forecasts of traffic through the airport are very positive.
Of course,
And
yeah.
last year the traffic at Dubai Airport finished at 66 million. And it's reckoned to be in excess of 70 million this year, and the indications show that it will be. And then along the way 2020 was announced and Dubai was awarded Expo 2020. And although that doesn't happen until 2020, a lot of things leading up to it cause extra traffic.
Of course, yeah.
And, you know, on a sideline, I've read where it's going to create 270,000 jobs in Dubai over the next few years.
It's not a bad
So
thing.
stuff like that is all very positive.
Absolutely. So what really inspires Dubai Duty Free to really keep on improving?
I think one very important thing is we have a huge team of staff. And we have looked after our staff very well, and they feel very much part and parcel of our team. So we continue to get ideas from our staff. We continue to get proposals from them and new ideas as to things we can do. We study our customers very closely, and we listen to what they say when we get requests for new products or different kind of products, or when we get comments about our operation, our service, our pricing. We study that very carefully. And we take what we think is the best out of it. And if we have to change track a little bit on something, we do so. We have recently had a committee studying the possibility of buying online, which is not new. It's in many airports around the world, but from the end of March we will have 5,000 products available to customers to buy online and collect either on departure or arrival at the airport. Depending on how that does, and depending on how the results are from that, then we may very well develop it further. And that's what we do with everything. You know, Charlotte, we make mistakes all the time, and we just try and make sure we don't repeat the same mistake again.
Who really has the spending power at Dubai Airport? I understand that the Chinese, although they represent a small amount of traffic, they actually represent, I think it's something like, was it 12% of sales?
In our case, in the studies we have shown, you know, everybody talks about China and everybody talks about Russian travel, and they're both very important. Through Dubai Airport, Chinese travel accounts for 4% of traffic. But in our case, in our studies, it indicates that they account for almost 15% of our business. But you know, our business into Africa is 13% of our business. And you do read a lot about extensive Russian purchasing. And of course, Russians are big spenders, and you get individual cases of very high spend. but the percentage of Russian business is not as big now as it was 10 years ago, for example. We have to take, and I'm sure any airport does, every airport does the same, we have to take account of the information we get, and in the case of Chinese travel, we now have 470 Chinese staff working for us. So we highlight the product that we know Chinese people like. We feature it in special feature areas. We have dual language signs in operation, and as I say, we have several hundred Chinese staff working for us. So we take account of all that sort of stuff. But you know, our main Asia is a big market for us. The Far East is a huge market for us, and we're trying to concentrate where we must on those sort of things.
I want to talk about Dubai World Central now, because this is fairly new sort of project for you guys. I believe you're opening a 2,500 square meter store, but I also hear that the retail is going to expand to something like 64,000 square meters eventually.
Dubai World Central is a huge project. The existing airport at Dubai is 14 square kilometers. At Dubai World Central, the airport will be 140 square kilometers. When it's finished, it will have 5 parallel runways. There will be a facility for simultaneous movements, taking off and landing. Dubai World Central opened the Maktoum International Airport on the 27th of October, just gone. We do have, Dubai Duty Free do have 2,500 square meters of retail space there now, and that's going to grow considerably. When the whole thing was planned, the plan was for an airport with a capacity of 160 million passengers. That's been reassessed now to raise that figure to 240 million passengers per annum. The original plan was a retail fit-out of about 65,000 square meters, but that also will increase. One of the reasons for the huge increase in thinking is that Dubai were recently awarded the Expo 2020. The part of the airport that's open right now has a capacity for 7 million passengers a year. By 2020, that will be operating at 120 million passengers per year. And at that time, we will have probably 50,000 square meters of retail space there. We have 140 staff employed there. We're taking between $30,000 and $40,000 sales every day right now. But the return per head at the new airport is very good. And it's just going to grow and grow and grow.
I mean, it's a huge project, and it's going to take a huge amount of management to get from start to finish. But it essentially is a dream scenario, really, for any retailer.
It's a dream scenario, and of course, the whole thing of Dubai World Central includes a lot more than just the airport. There are plans for apartments there, for villas there. There is an industrial part in it. There are some operating companies already built and operating there. There will be golf courses there. And every day now in the real estate sector of Dubai, you can read comments and developments and plans for the launch of such a building. There are going to be several hotels built there. So by 2020, it will be a mini city of its own. And we think, and that's why we brought forward our proposal of reaching $3 billion from 2020 to 2018, and that might come forward a little bit more.
Sounds like there's no real obstacles in front of you at the moment. It seems like the possibilities are endless, and the future is bright. However, there is something that I read recently about the Indian government has decreased the gold allowance for their nationals, and a new law has come into effect as of February that all expatriates of Indian origin should declare their gold and jewellery worth 10,000 rupees. How will this affect Dubai Duty Free sales? Because I know gold is a really strong category for you guys.
Gold accounts for about 8% of our business, but it has always accounted for 8 or 9% of our business. And even though restrictions are put in place, the value offered to customers or travellers is still very good. And I think something like that being announced by the Indian government is no different from all the other things that we've experienced over the past 20 or 30 years, we had security, we had SARS, we had various wars, we had visa changes, we had rule changes in several governments close by us. We had the security problems, we had lags, we had x-ray machines that weren't there before. And when these new problems come, you look at them, you manage them as best you can. The Indian reduction of the gold allowance is just another one of them. And you just look at them, see how you can manage them and do the best you can.
Of course. And the business is in great shape, as we've been talking about, evident from the ability to raise another 750 million financing facility following the repricing of the 1.75 billion loan last year. You know, I understand you're going to continue in this strategy.
I guess we will. The raising or the borrowing of 1.75 billion a couple of years ago was a new thing for us. We did it through 26 different banks, but we created a reputation as being very sound. The money we borrow, of course, is for the infrastructure at the airport.
Of course, yeah.
And last year we borrowed another 750 million US. We did that through 4 banks, which was much easier for us. Of course, those 4 banks probably sold on some of that to other banks, and that was their business. And the borrowing of the money was new to us. There's a publication called the Middle East, Africa and Asia Financial Magazine, and they give awards every year. And last year they gave us an award for the best organized loan in relation to our 1.75 billion. And we've recently been advised that we have been awarded a second award on that loan this year for the best repriced loan in the business, not just in the duty-free business, but in the region. Because by repricing that loan, we saved ourselves $42 million US. Your question, if we're going to continue in that vein, I'm sure we are. We are one of the financiers on behalf of the government for the infrastructure at the airport. And whenever we're instructed by our chairman, His Highness Sheikh Ahmed, to borrow another billion, we'll do it. We have the capacity to do it, and we have the capacity easily to service the loans.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you right now. I do have one last question. When are you going to retire, Colm?
I think you've worked with Doug Newhouse too long, because Doug Newhouse has been asking me that question for the past 25 years. And the way I've begun to answer him is, well, when are you going to retire, Doug? We've been too long on this stuff together. Charlotte, I don't know. I enjoy working very much. I enjoy very much that our company continues to do well. I enjoy very much that many of our staff are long-serving staff. And you didn't ask me this, but when we started to buy duty-free 30 years ago, we had 100 staff. We still have 40 of those 100 staff with us. It's very enjoyable to look at the things we do. We won 16 awards last year. We sold 78 million pieces of merchandise last year. We did 26 million transactions on our registers last year. We gave away 16 million US dollars in our Millennium Millionaire promotion. We gave away 35 motor cars in our Finest Surprise promotion. I enjoy all those things very much. So when I'm going to retire, I guess when the chairman says to me, Colm, it's time you go.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you as always. Thank you for spending your time here with us today.
Charlotte, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks.